Hey guys, it's Wanda from Crazy Days, and I've got a cup of coffee here. And I thought I'd just continue on my little talk from the other day about what are you going to eat. The other day I was talking about grain, mainly because before I went to bed the night before, it had been laid on my heart to talk about grains. Nothing else, just grains. And the whole scenario just played through my head. And so I got up the next day, I did the video. I had a few people say, oh, it was clickbait, because I didn't give any ways to tell how you were going to eat. Then I had lots of them going, well, there wouldn't be any cows, there wouldn't be any meat, there wouldn't be any chickens and all this stuff. Well, that wasn't what the video was about. It was mainly about, hey, there's no grain, what are you going to eat? What's left? In your cabinet, what's left. I'm not in your house, so I couldn't tell you what's left in your house once grain is gone. For now, I'm praying most of you've stored some stuff up and that you will have some stuff to eat for a while. That's what we do here at Deepsouth Homestead. We cook, we raise as much as possible, but we also store what we can. I don't have a 5-year supply, guys. If you do the math, to have 5 years supply of everything you have that you eat on a daily basis, you'd have to own a grocery store, right? So I rotate things out. My canned goods is 5 years. Within 5 years, I'm usually either feeding it to the pigs or we're cooking it up fast as we can, because sometimes things just get a little old when you got a lot, like green beans. We put up green beans every year, but occasionally you're going to miss a jar or two of green beans. And so 5 years is not too off the wall to have some green beans 5 years old. But now something like sweet potatoes, usually 18 months is as long as my sweet potatoes go. Maybe, because we eat a lot of sweet potatoes. So I don't have to worry about it. We have to grow every year, and we keep rotating. So, back to the video. No meat? That went through my mind, but that wasn't what my video was about. But, no meat. You're right. There probably wouldn't be much meat, because most people feed their chickens, their cows, their goats, their pigs, their rabbits food from the store. They buy little pellets that they feed them, and Danny and I do too. We feed our animals that, but that's not all they get. We are on 10 acres. We have the amount of chickens and cows and a couple of pigs. Now we're down to 1 pig. And that 1 pig will be gone within the next month. So we'll have the chickens and the cows. And when our cows have babies, we are selling the babies as soon as they are 4 months old, because our land will not handle a huge amount of cows. If you're on an acre and you have several cows, several goats, a bunch of chickens and pigs and whatever on 1 acre, okay, I don't know what you're going to feed them. I honestly don't. That's up to you. That means you have to either down animals, and you will eat the animals for as long as it takes, or you got to find a way to feed them. And I don't know what you're going to do. Danny and I have 10 acres. We try to rotate our pasture somewhat, so that the cows are not eating one pasture down all the time. We do supplement in hay, which would go away because we wouldn't be able to get hay because of fertilizer. Number one, hey, you know what? Your veggies and stuff's going to go away too. Fertilizer's getting really bad. And on top of weather, you want to talk about weather? Hey, between all the weather anomalies that's happened in the past 2 years, vegetables, I don't know. Even potatoes. Something so simple. You say, I don't buy any potatoes. Do you? Not really. How many times you go to McDonald's or Ward's or Wendy's or whatever else and you order French fries? You just bought potatoes. I had somebody tell me, I buy a 5-pound bag of potatoes and I never use them. I don't worry about potatoes. I never eat potatoes. And I'm like, really, really, really? How many times do you go out to eat and how many potatoes? Well, I had a baked potato. Exactly. Well, I had French fries 3 times this week. Well, I buy a bag of fries like this and I fix it for the kids. Yeah. How many times do you do those instant potatoes? That's potatoes. You know, they took and buried hundreds of thousands of pounds of potatoes a few weeks ago. You know, that they wouldn't let people eat them. There was no way to get them out of the fields. That's crazy. You know, they did cows that way. They did pigs that way. It wasn't because they were diseased. Nothing wrong with them. Just did not have a way to pick them up. Either no trucking because of what was going on, or they had no workers to get the things out of the fields and get them on trucks. There's numerous supply chain issues. It wasn't that there was no potatoes, and it wasn't that there was no trucks. Think about it. So what you gonna eat? I don't know. If you live in a city and there's no grain and they've limited you, let's say limited you to one loaf of bread a week. Some of you say, I don't eat bread. Good. Okay. They've limited you to one can of soup a day. That's all you can get when you go to the grocery store. One a day. 7 cans of soup. Can you live on that? You know, you don't ever know. Back in the day, the reason they had flour, sugar, and mainly flour and sugar were rationed big time. They grew everything else. These people, and why do you think people didn't like pears? They ate an awful lot of them. And they said, okay, I'm tired of pears. I would rather have something else. During the Great Depression, these people ate what was available. Some people didn't like rice because that was all they were given all the time was rice. And they said, I don't want to ever eat rice again. You know, whatever was growing in their garden, that's what they ate. You know, so no, I didn't have any answers on what you're going to eat because I don't know where you're at. I don't know what's in your pantry, and I don't know what's going to be available. Availability is going to be huge because Danny and I live close to a coastline. Our supply chain might not be as broken as somebody that lives in middle America, because coming off the boat next to the coastline, they might could get our store's food. Maybe. Going inland, maybe not as much. So it's going to be according to where you're at. It's according to what you grow. It's according to what you've stored. Then maybe you'll have something to eat. The other thing, these people that store food but yet never use it. I like to rotate out. I don't like to store food for long periods of time and never use it. But say you're working in an office. You've been working since you were 18. You get up every morning, you and your husband get up, go to work, come back home in the evenings. You pick up something on the way home so y'all don't have to cook. You sit down, eat a meal, and go to bed. Get up the next morning, grab your cup of coffee, head out the door again, do it all over again. You hardly ever take time to cook. And I'm not downing anybody because I used to not cook very much either when I worked in an office. I loved to eat out. I really did. But there come a time when my health was broken down and I had to start eating healthy foods in order to get my blood system built back up. I had to learn how to cook all over again because it had been several years since I'd really cooked very much food. When Danny and I married, I'd cooked very little and I had to start practicing all over again. It'd been about 5 or 6 years since I'd really cooked very much food when we met. And I was having to learn what went where and how to do things all over again. So if you've stored up, say, you've got plenty of flour and plenty of sugar and butter and eggs and dried milk and all this stuff, and you go, I'll just make me a loaf of bread if something happens. Okay. Get it out tomorrow. Make you a loaf of bread and see how long it takes you. See if it turns out. See if you like it. See if your family likes it. Because the one thing that's going to get everybody is all this food they got stored that they've never eaten. They've never tasted. And they go, oh, well, we'll eat whatever. Do you realize how picky most people are eating? I know I am. Ask Danny when it comes to my eggs. I like mine well done on both sides. I don't like any slick feeling to my eggs. So I know people are picky eaters. So you might want to try eating just a little bit, mixing up some bread, seeing if you can do it. Try to make something from scratch. I mean, that's biggie. You got to be able to make do with whatever's available. I have one lady said she didn't have any flour and so she got thinking, what am I going to do? She ground up beans and some other things that she had on hand and oatmeal maybe and stuff and made her some flour and finished out what she was doing. That's what you talk about thinking on your feet.